Welcome, 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 guys. I hope you can hear me and hear me over the music. I am your host for tonight. I am Casei Magnus, and I am working on the mall map, which hasn't gotten any love whatsoever since the last time I streamed. But I've taken a little hiatus. I had lots of stuff come up that we won't go into, but it all came crashing down. But I'm back for a while. We'll get this done. Lear, welcome back. Cramson, welcome back. It's glad to see everybody. I'm very happy to be here. And this is our mall. As you can see, we are nowhere near having this sealed off and ready for any sort of test whatsoever. Down here, we've got a food court. This is probably the craziest architecture I've done for any map whatsoever, and I hope it actually compiles and doesn't give me some kind of bizarre error. We could technically test that out to see if it would compile, but that would mean that the stream would bog out, and we don't want that. So I tried compiling online before, and it just did not, absolutely did not work. And we still got holes in here where things should be sealed up already, but not a problem. We'll get all this straightened out and taken care of. And yeah, that may be a problem because it's all the way up. Let me see if I can't go into my mic settings and make some gain. Or my volume mixer. Let's see what's going on here. Nope, that's not going to do it. Check, check. Is that a little bit better? Yeah, music's already real soft too. Let me see what I can do. This is a new headset, and well, not super new, but you know, new to streaming, and so it's I don't quite have the levels down yet. What's up, Baumgarten? How's it going? Okay, let's see what we can get done here. And all this looks very long and very shooty, but what we're planning to do here is block some of this off. But before we start blocking things off, we have to design the rest of it, and then we destroy it. And at least that's my preferred method for doing things like this, because we're actually going to be playing a lot of this map from side to side and not, you know, down these long hallways, because those are death. So we're going to be weaving out of in and out of stores and up and down various things. So that's where we're at right now, which there's a lot to do. If it can go louder, it can probably go a little bit. Okay, this is as loud as everything gets. Yeah, I had planned to have Neo on chat tonight, on voice chat tonight, but my Discord decided it was going to fall over and not be able to get back up. Wonder if I should flatten that out. Probably not. How's it going, S0? This is a mall map. It is not an official map. It hopefully will be, but it is still a very much a work in progress. It's got a lot of way to go before it's even considered to be official. Because these long hallways, that creates the same problem that every other mall map has in the entire world. So what we've got to do is, I was just telling everybody, we've got to slice this up, and we're going to be moving across hallways rather than up and down hallways. So that will help us keep zombies safe, and there'll be various levels of destruction here and there, and you know, we'll see what happens. But the reason I'm doing this instead of just building it straight out from, you know, having the destroyed stuff, because I need to know what it looks like before everything fell over and died. So yeah, I mean, some of these columns will be leaning, or there'll be chunks missing out of some. There'll be barricades and all kinds of mess, and there will be some places where you could perhaps, you know, snipe down or whatever. But there's not going to be a whole lot of those. We're going to try to keep it to where it's fair for the zombies. And most mall maps are very problematic for zombies. Oh yeah, it's going to be detailed this. The reason we're going to be able to get away with some of this architecture, like this stuff down here, is because it will be sealed off, you know, horizontally, and that way we're not seeing all the way down that hall as well. We might see, you know, some ceiling, but we won't be seeing all the way down. It's pretty slow and boring, yes, but you can, you know, Neo's here to help answer questions and to be the official gatekeeper of information. So if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. And if I don't know the answer, then Neo assuredly does. Yeah, it should, Neo. The only real problem I see with as spread out as we're getting right now is the same problem that Sapid had, which was or Sapid had, which was going through shortcuts to different places. Broken out walls and stuff like that. That may not be the solution that we can come up with. There's probably going to have to be ladders and, stuff like that. Giving some shortcuts between the areas. I'm concerned right now as I'm building it that it's going to be too much of a loop as opposed to, a pile of spaghetti in terms of corridors. But we'll see. We'll get there. We'll get there. S0, I see this on Twitch a lot, and that is... Join me. Thanks for the follow, S. But the problem I see is gamers will be running through levels and completely ignoring the scenery around them and not even admiring the work that the mapper has done to make this gorgeous environment. They just take it for granted and just run. And, sadly for the mapper, I sit there and I'm like, oh, can't these people go back and look at that? That looks awesome. And they just, poof, run through it. And so much work goes into these things. Neo can answer that better than I can. I'll let Leo take that question, Leo. Well, it's definitely a major process, as you can see. These are all dev textures. It's orange and brown. There's been no decisions whatsoever on how this is all going to look, whether this is going to be concrete or wood, or, it's definitely not going to be wood because it's, a mall. But, you have to make decisions on those kinds of things. Then you have to run this thing through many play tests just to see if it's A, fair, and B, fun. And if it's neither one of those things, then it doesn't get made official. Yeah, that aspect is really cool. As the the godlike power you have to create. It's just the problem is the universe wasn't built in 7 days in Source. How did we get these over here? That's my question. Well, only in the sense, Harmony, only in the sense that this is an apocalyptic mall and the way they do what's called occlusion. And occlusion is what you can see at any given moment. And what this is here, this is a normal mall, okay, at the moment. With big, long hallways and the problems associated to them. So this is actually a bad zombie panic level as it stands. You don't want any sight line that's this bloody long, because campers will sit here in this little area and they'll snipe and they'll snipe and they'll snipe and they'll snipe. And they don't have to worry about people getting close to them until they run out of ammunition. While that would be pretty cool for like a sort of a hardcore mode where you're camping here and trying to destroy all the zombies coming from this way, the problem is that for the zombies it's not very fun, and so it would still be considered sort of a poor map because of that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking the mall up to go across instead of lengthwise. So that way we'll make it fun for the zombies, a little bit more, cut and turn, the way the Left 4 Dead mall map is in that respect. And that's what I'm talking about when I say occlusion. We won't be able to see all the way down that hall. Something will be blocking it. You might see some ceiling down that hall, but you won't be able to shoot zombies from where you're at. So in order to make it fair and fun, it's got to be looking a little bit like the Left 4 Dead mall map because of the just the fact that it's an apocalyptic mall, and we have to occlude stuff. But I'm not like copying anything from it. I'm not going into it, and I only vaguely remember playing it. I know there's a car in it, so I won't have a car. We might have to have a helicopter though. And I've lost where we were, but that's all good. We were near some stairs, I do know that. Yes, here we are. Yeah, with bad occlusion, you end up getting very low frame rates, especially over the network. And it may be that you're getting beautiful frame rates inside the engine when you're playing single player, but as soon as you hop into the network, everybody starts to lag. So occlusion is something that you have to be extremely worried about. And all games worry about it. If you see a mountain blocking your view from something, that's probably an occlusion issue. I'm actually going to have to probably make these hallways wider. This is fairly narrow hallway, and there's not enough room to put junk in it. So I might have to make that bigger. Well, the map itself does, excuse me, the map itself does determine your frames per second, but it does not affect the engine itself. Now, there are tricks you can do to make things go easier. And one of those is like you put a viz portal here, okay? And that way, unless somebody is looking at that door, then none of this will draw back here. So you have to actually walk over to this thing, peek around, and then it will draw beyond that door. And that's that is an optimization trick. There are other ways, hints and skip brushes and things like that are a little bit too complicated to get into right here. But there are tricks that you can do to optimize your map, which ultimately results in the frames per second of whatever engine that you've got running. But it won't like touch the engine itself. And a lot of that is compile level, like hint and skip brushes. Only they function at compile time, whereas like area portals and viz portals and stuff, those are in the actual engine, but they cannot be modified. They're generated whenever you compile. And we need to seal these up. Yep, you're getting there before the engine says, oh, I have to draw this. And that's what causes that. Hey, Matt Man, how's it going? Here's a hint brush here, and it covers the doorway like it should. But there are other places you can put them in order to keep you from seeing around a corner. Right. Well, compiling is different than running. You run it as a player. We compile it on our end before it's ever even put out. And what the engine does is it determines, okay, if a player is, it basically shoots light everywhere where the light should be shot. And then it also divides the map into what's called viz portals. And viz portals basically tell the engine what can be seen at any given time. And it looks like a bunch of blue junk in the air when you turn that on inside the engine, and a bunch of blue lines, horizontal, vertical, and the simpler those are, the better your frame rate's going to be. Here, I can actually show you what they look like. Mattman, it is amazing that the mod still has an active development team, but, we stand in the trenches dug by giants. So, it's easy. Okay, this is Sapid Cerebrum. This is an official map, and it was put into the game during the last map update, which is our last update. So, if you haven't played it, you need to, because it's lots and lots of fun. But it's a little bit different than the one that you guys may have seen in the past, because there is now a basement, and lots of things to do in the basement. Lots of things to see, etc., etc., etc. And this is fun. This is a trap door that leads to the stage. So, this hint brush says, when you create a viz portal, I want you to cut right across that line, no matter what. No matter what other viz portals are generated, cut that line. And on this side it says skip, and that means, we're going to skip that. So you only need it on one side, you don't need it on both. Alright, so let's load up our viz portals. These are viz portals. When your eyes are sitting in one of these boxes, it can see any other box that it touches, with some exceptions, like up here. This is an area portal, and area portals are, that's the disappearing thing that we discussed. So anywhere in these boxes will see anything else that it touches. And as you can see, the simpler things are, like this is all one big area, the faster things are going to run, because it's only going to draw this little door block, this little room, these little blocks, this little room, and part of that hall. And once you get out here, that's when things start drawing in this direction. So if you're standing in here, though, you won't get things drawn down that hall. Now, as you can see, I've got a hint brush cutting this right here. And that's because when you're standing in this room over here, you don't want to see in this room. And by see, I mean the engine is seeing, not necessarily the player. And it's the engine that you want to control. So by using these hint brushes in this way, you can control what's seen a lot better, a lot easier. And then like this here, when things get complex, we start having frame rate issues, and that's usually over the network. The network will start lagging. And like, I will go ahead and admit that this area, for some reason or another, is a complete problem. And as you can see, it's not really a viz portal problem, because there's not a whole lot going on. It's not all chunky, but there is a frame rate issue, and it's right here in this particular viz portal. So we could probably cut it up and see how that worked out for us, but that's an issue that we're going to have to address later on. It's not so bad that it's game killing, but it is there and I know about it. Thanks, S. So that's the Viz Portal tutorial for the evening. And by controlling that really, really controls frame rate. Because if I can see out this door and down that hallway and I don't have things controlled, it could be drawing anything. It could be drawing back here. You know, you don't really know until you turn on those tools and walk around and see how things are drawing. Give me like 30 seconds, guys. Gonna grab a drink. All right, I'm back. You'd watch his older brother design maps for his HL2 mods. Not much has changed. Not much has changed since the HL2. It's still the same old hammer. Sure. Let me know how that is. That's not going to work out. I don't know what this hallway needs to be, but it needs to connect somehow. This might have to be a little, like, access hallway. The other one's a restroom, so we don't need to mirror that. I suppose I could move that door that direction. Could put it right there. Yeah, let's do that. Look at that, it disappears. I might have to restart Hammer. Alright, give me just a moment, guys. This is the one that's just a hum. All right, I'm going to have to readjust this. We'll get it sorted, I promise. That's good. Okay, it's no longer disappearing. That had me freaked out. No, I don't like that. I don't like how you can see right into that. So, the question is what am I going to do? We've reached a weird junction. This happens from time to time. I could make that a fakey shop that's boarded up or sealed off somehow. But if you've got a good 3D spatial awareness, you will know, oh, there's a fakey shop there. It only fools the non-3D spatially aware. Yeah, definitely Neo. There'll probably end up being a lot too, because of all the barricading and the collapsed stuff. But I need to get the basic layout first, then cut things with cheap walls and see how it plays before we really invest all that model time in it. Because if the layout's not fun, then... And if the layout needs to change significantly, then it may be problematic with those CADs. Because as you know, I like to get detailed, and that's probably my source engine curse, is detail. Sapid is way over its entity limit. In fact, I think that's what we may do for the next hour, is cull some entities. Did the shaders change since I've been gone, Neo? Because everything feels darker again. So yes, you've played it a while. You can tell that the halls aren't nearly as destroyed as they once were because of the entity issue. I've had to go through and cull a lot since we've added other areas and stuff. I'll show you what's changed though if you'd like to see it. There's a hole here that connects to this upstairs area. That's a little shortcut. There's also over in this hallway, in that office, there's a destroyed hole that gives you an alternate direction that you can try to escape. Because this hallway was a death trap. It really, really was. Then we've got the basement going on here. Some water that you can splash through. And there's a blinking light. You go in here and this is a little fakey hallway to make it feel like the map is larger, but that's supposedly where they unload cardboard in that direction. As a player, you never really see it except for on this side. So, then let me get rid of these clips. This is a new trash compactor model by Darb Dude. It's absolutely wonderful, and this is where the crushed cardboard is. I don't know why they're crushing so much cardboard in a theater, but, we'll just have to, you'll have to make that up in your own head. That will be some significant headcanon there. This light needs to be brightened, that's for sure. And I'm not on ignore groups. Let's double its strength. because whereas it's lighting up these faces here. Ooh, that's not good. I can't have that little piece like that. Where it's lighting up the faces here, it wasn't illuminating it very well. So we'll double the output of that light, so the next time we run it, we'll see what it will do. And if you can see yellow in a completed map, that's bad. Here we go. Unfortunately, that face is going to draw when the engine draws it, but it's better than going over there and seeing skybox when you're kneeling down hiding. So, yep, these are levitating. Physics will grab them at the beginning of the round and drag them to the floor, so I'm not terribly worried about them floating. And this is all going to be cut off. There's going to be a gate here, a gate here. You can see the little gate lines, and a gate there. And so zombies that spawn down here will have to make it to other areas of the map before these will open. And because you can, if you spawn here and this thing is open, you can be on top of players within seconds. All these spawns do not open up in here in the rafters. We've culled out some of those spawns. But the spawns up here in the rafters do not open until certain points are reached. So, gonna have to do that too with these little gates down here. Alright, so let's go culling. We need to get rid of entities. And unfortunately, it's going to have to be a lot of decals. And that means detail suffers. But, what you gonna do? We need to recover some entities. No choice, no choice. If this room here is flipped around from where it used to be on this wall, but now we've got some stairs going down. Actually, we need every single one of those spawn points. Especially in the player lobby. That represents a maximum server. I think that's 24. I think you've got to make it 36. I don't remember. But from my understanding, that's maximum spawn load for a server. There might be a couple of dudes in there that are in a different location. But what it will do is it will choose randomly. So if there's only 10 people will spawn randomly within that set. So even if it's a few over, that's okay. Where can you see that decal from? Let's get rid of it. Let's get rid of both of these. Here we've got two decals of the same type, so we'll get rid of one of those. That back trash can go away. The rest needs to look kind of trashy. We've got a lot of leaves over here. We could probably get rid of one of these leaves. I haven't had my game music on in forever, and hearing this brings back so many memories. I really need to put one of the new breakable doors here, because that breakable door sucks. Yeah, me too, Cramson. It's just I play a lot of carrier. I could get rid of that bird. That bird is consuming a lot of entities for doing absolutely nothing. It caws at you randomly. But Cramson, I can't stand any looping music, and granted, it didn't loop as often as some games do. But I play a lot of carrier, and I want to hear those footsteps, and I want to ensure what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing. And that's one of the only real ways to play the carrier is listen. So that's why I've had my music turned off for so long. Oh, I've already killed so much of this bookshelf. Let's see if there's another bookshelf we can hit. Not really. This thing used to be loaded with books. And there's one book hiding that grenade. I could go from 3 posters to 2. Let's do that. Let's keep those 2 and kill this one. I wish these shelves had different things on them. I don't like that it's all the same shelf unit. S, you may notice that there is no more Boom Boom electrical box. I was forced to take it out, sad face. But I'm not taking out the Boom Boom fire extinguishers. That's one place I might can reclaim some, is kill off a fire extinguisher or 2. That will reclaim a lot of entities, because that takes, each one takes, I don't know, 10, 15 entities. That's a lot. So I could find a place to get rid of it. This one's so far away as to really be useful from any of the action. The action is usually along this line. So it doesn't make sense to put it right there. So let's kill this one. Seven entities is how much it takes up. This room is so dark, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that floor trash. We'll leave that trash there, but we're going to get rid of that other floor trash. And people will have to shine their flashlights here. Now, these also take up a lot of entities, but I don't really want to get rid of these unless I absolutely have to, because this is, I think, is a fun part of the map, and a lot of people don't know it. This is an Easter egg, and if you go and get a sledgehammer and you bust toilets, you get gifts. And that gift can either be something nice or something bad. Or not bad, but not so nice. So you either get pistol ammo or you get some nice ammo. So break the toilets with the sledgehammer and you can help your friends. And that's all toilets. That's not just the those back toilets. It's all toilets. Like here's a hand grenade, or you can get pistol ammo. There's some shoddy. We could probably get rid of something here on the floor. Let's get rid of that. What's up, Casei? I have no idea how to pronounce your name, by the way. And Bloody Mustache, what's going on? Well, if you're going to be the toilet guy, if you're going to be the plumber, you have to go get that sledge really quick. Because the only other real way to open up those toilets is with a shotgun. And that's a waste of ammo. Only the sledge does enough damage to break the toilet. And there's only one sledge in the map. There's also other hidden things, like behind this sign, it's 100% of the time an IED. And you can actually see it if you walk up to it in the game and take a look through that sign. Behind that sign is some medical, or perhaps even some armor. There's health hidden in the bushes, potentially hidden in the bushes, and you can see it if you're looking for it. But if you're not paying attention, you can walk right past it. Things that save you, and there's some in those bushes too. And back here, there's guaranteed 100% to be first aid, but it's very noisy to open that, and the zombies know, oh, he's opening that case. So you better have friends there to help defend you if you need that. Oh, this is bad. Does that hint brush not go all the way? Yeah, it goes all the way. Okay. All right, so more culling. We get to search around. We can't go down there and cull because that's where we need to put the new stuff. So we need to cull up here. Might need to... Ooh, there's something over here that I want to get rid of. That I want to get rid of. Goodbye, Nade. There shouldn't be any IED jump locations unless it's in here. Did you not realize there was an IED on the map? Because there's also one back here in the in this room behind this mirror. But you can flat out see that when you're running around. Grenade 1 of 100. There are not that many hidden. Let's count them just for Neo. Let's count them. Biotech has what? How many grenades does Biotech have? There's 2 at the beginning. There's 2 potentially in cubes, and then 2 upstairs heading towards Big Hall. I think 6. I think S is correct. I think 6 is the guaranteed number of grenades. So here's number 1. There's 1 upstairs, so let's head to that one. Here's number 2. That's number 2. There's 1 right here. That's number 3. There's 1 potentially in the bathroom. That's number 4. Let's see. Where are the other ones? That's number 5. There's 1 there. Number 5. I don't know if there are any others here. I think that's it. The one we just killed, that made number 6. Yeah, I think it's only got 6 grenades. Well, you got 2 in the kitchen, you got 2 in cubes, and 2 upstairs big hall. So I think it's just 6. Why is that too long? Oh, because of that. All right. So I think we've got 5 nades. I could put one in here. There's not a whole lot interesting that goes on in there, so I might... The one we just deleted, I think we'll move into that little room over there. So let's do that. There, that'll drop it on that top shelf. Alright, so we got... Are these movable still? No, these are now statics. Neo, they're so hard to use unless you're super pro that I've always liked static placed, and there's everything else in the map is random except the explosives. I mean, I can give it a shot, but each random point we add is yet another entity. Overall, there's not a whole lot that's static in the map. There's some pistol ammo that is, but most everything else is random def. All right, I'll work on it. But like with biotech, you know, if you got 2 players, you've got 6 grenades. And granted, I understand that ZPO is different from ZPS. See, I don't even know what my definitions are for nades. Okay, I've got it set for a maximum of 4, but even when I've got it set for 4, 6 are spawning. Are you absolutely sure about that, Neo? Because, like, this is considered a static spawn, but it's randomly chosen amongst the others. Like, that may not be there, from my understanding. That's not a guaranteed gun. Okay, I don't have a random explosive or random grenade. I mean, I totally don't mind changing all those nades to random spawns, but not sure how I do it. Any will put anything there. Okay, here are the entities that are available. Random ammo, random any, random def, random firearm, random limit, random melee, random misc, random pistol, random rifle, random shot rev, random weapon. Random item. I don't have a random item, do I? Random any. I can't even scroll through this window. It will not scroll. And I've got a red bar that says ignore rules 0. Yeah, I'd rather have them random than guaranteed, but I did recall not being able to do that. But I swear this thing has not spawned every single time. I would bet money on it and go to my grave swearing it, but I could be wrong. I don't know everything about this engine at all. Far from it. Where the hell are we? There we are. We'll get rid of this chair. Yeah, I didn't think it did, Camp. It's got to be picking up from the definition limit. If that's the case, then there's a lot of things I have to go through and do. Jesus. That's not happy. Oh, Neo, if this is the case, I have to go through all of these and do this kind of stuff. That's going to be a nightmare because I've got red bars on every single door. Every single door. It seems random weapon is going to work. We'll see. Oh my god, spawn Keybeard. It literally says Keybeard. Yeah, it says keybeard. You may want to report that. It doesn't say spawn keyboard, it says spawn keybeard. Okay, this is our grenade spawner now. That's good. We've got a grenade spawner. Let's get rid of the grenades and replace them with grenade spawners. I'm going to leave one of them static, just to annoy everyone. Let's see, we've done 3. Then there's 4. This one I'll leave static. Nobody ever finds this thing. As much as people even camp in this area, nobody ever finds that thing. Every time I walk by it as a zombie, it's there. Unless Ninja Muffin is playing, and then he's grabbed it. So the 5th one is in the toilet, and there's not much I can do about that. It's already randomized whether or not it will appear or not. There's only a 33% chance that it will drop something nice, and then the other 66, I believe, it may be 50-50, I don't remember, for the toilets. We can check real quick though. Yes, a 33% chance that something nice will drop, so that one I think is okay. 4 is static, and now we'll add some more of those just to make it random where they actually show up. Oh, there's one I forgot. I forgot about that bad boy sitting on that table. Eight. Holy cow, that's a lot more than I thought there was. No, I didn't. You guys hired the wrong guy. All right, I'll clean out my desk. Oh, you mean security's not going to escort me out of here? All right, I'm going to burn this fucking place to the ground. I just leaked all the files to the Russians. Enjoy the Zombie Panic pre-release, comrade. Oh, it's 3 in cubes. Okay. I didn't know about the random in the control room. That one must be new. Don't forget the 2 that are right there in the kitchen. Those are guaranteed. All right, I'm going to up the depth limit then, since we've got a lot of random locations. I'm going to up the depth limit to 6. Well, let's put one up here. We haven't put one up here yet. Took the fire extinguisher out of here. It was a death trap. If any survivors were in here and somebody accidentally shot that thing and it exploded, that could be like 4 or 5 people dead. So let's replace that with a nade. And now I've lost my entity, so let's go get the entity. Where's the closest entity? Right here. I think that covers just about the whole theater, so let's go change our depth limit to 6 instead of 4. And that's in our... There is a lovely little credits room in here. If you guys have never seen it, it's right off the player spawn through that door. You can only get to it if you're flying around. Oh yeah, I forgot about the one in the lab. And I forgot about the one above the lab on the table. Yes, drawing too many things is a big concern. That's what the occlusion is. Now, you're probably getting 300 plus FPS because you've got a much nicer machine than what was necessary for when Source was released. So you're going to end up with some really good FPS playing an older game, and you've got a more modern machine. Where what starts to break down, you could be having 300 FPS in a badly optimized map, and everybody will still be lagging. And it's not because you're lagging, or everybody else could be having 300 FPS too. The network latency is what's going to kill that, and that matters. So it's got to be a well-optimized map in order to be a successful map. Otherwise, things are just going to lag out, slow down, and people will have stretchy arms, etc., etc. No, I think that lab one is always there whenever you get into the lab, the back side of the lab, the one that's on the floor. All right, so we've thinned out our nades. There are only 2 IEDs on the map, Neo. Do you want those randomized as well? Because I think 2 is not a crazy number, even with a low number of players. think that side can be no draw, I think. That side too can be no draw. And that side too. Because nobody will spawn behind these gates. They won't see what's on the other side. Unless they only go up to the roof. We'll see, we'll see. I'll have to compile it and run some tests. We'll add a random one there. Oh my god, I'm going to have to go through and replace every single door. It's got to happen. All of these doors have an invalid property called health, and it's set to 0. And you touch one of those doors that has that health set to 0, and the whole game crashes. It comes tumbling down. I do not want to have to do this, but I'm gonna have to do it. There's no other choice. But I don't want to do that right now because that is a very big project, and it's going to be really dull. I might save that for next stream, just so you can get a preview of the exciting times we're going to be having here on the next installment of Live at the Hammersmith Palace. See, like, this gun here, okay? This looks like a static, but it doesn't appear there all the time. Players will see it when they're waiting for the round to start, and then as soon as the round starts, it will bloody disappear. Yeah, it's accounting for numbers of players, but it takes away one, so the random thing is happening because it assigns a random one out in the wild, then takes that one away. Maybe I don't know. I do not know. I don't totally understand how it works. Johnny Boy is far more versed in that kind of thing. So I fixed the QC thing on my end, and everything will be okay. Is that going to be the deal, or do these models have to be compiled in the QC? I do not know. I do not know. But I'll do some experiments with it and we'll get it working next time. Yeah, I think it was Neo, because there'll be people like at the beginning of biotech, they'll be like, you know, don't touch that, that's mine, and then it will disappear. All right. I actually think I'm going to cut things here. And I know it's shorter than the general 4, but I can't stay up that late anymore, guys. I'm getting tired. So if I do this again and we want longer streams, I'll have to start a little bit early. Because I'm now going to bed and getting up at reasonable hours. The dev team knows this, but I got out of the hospital like 3 weeks ago, and it was nasty, and I've got to change my lifestyle. So going to bed early and getting up early to bed, early to rise, keeps Casei out of the fucking hospital. So.